So Sunderland have been relegated to the Championship. After multiple seemingly impossible great escapes, the Black Cats have finally slipped into the second tier of football after a 10-year stint in the Premier League. Questions are now being asked as to whether or not they can return to the promised land at the first time of asking, or will they languish in the Championship. The last time they were there, they won the league title on the final day by beating Luton 5-0. So let's take a look at the last Sunderland team to win promotion to the Premier League and where they are now. In goal was MARTON FULOP. Following Sunderland's promotion, the Hungarian would head out on loan to Leicester and then very briefly Stoke City. FULOP would leave the Stadium of Light in 2010, linking up with his former manager Roy Keane. After a short spell at West Brom, FULOP would move to Greece and join Astros Tripoli in 2012, but stepped away from the game a year later after having a malignant tumour removed from his arm. On the 12th of November 2015, FULOP sadly lost his life to cancer at the age of 32. At right back that day was WRIGHT. After joining the club from Liverpool in 2002, the win over Luton would be Wright's final appearance for Sunderland, heading out on loan to Stoke the following season before being released in the summer of 2008. Wright would proceed to slide down the divisions, playing for Coventry, Brentford, Hartlepool, Wrexham, Aberystwyth and Rhyl, seemingly settling down in Wales. How lovely. Next we've got Nyron Nosworthy. Certainly a fan favourite on Weir's side, Big Nos would join Watford in 2011, then Blackpool 3 years later, with a loan spell at Bristol City sandwiched in between. After another loan spell, this time at Portsmouth, Nosworthy joined Dagenham and Redbridge, where he would retire in February 2016. Representing Jamaica 14 times, Sunderland had a very inventive chant for their man, lauding his defensive capabilities to the tune of Rehab by Amy Winehouse. Johnny Evans also played that day, as he ended his first loan spell in the North East with a Championship winners medal. Roy Keane used his Manchester United connections to bring Evans in on loan as he looked to continue his development. The Northern Irish defender would return to the club 6 months later for another loan spell as Sunderland avoided the drop. A vital time in Evans' career, he would go on to win 3 Premier League crowns with Man U and is now with West Brom, where he has won 0 Premier League crowns. Shock. Our final defender is Danny Collins. Another fan favourite at the Stadium of Light, it's still unclear why Sunderland let him join Stoke in 2009. Fans claimed he should play for Brazil, they claimed he should play up front, simply because he was a skillful word that rhymes with blunt. At the age of 36, Collins is playing in League 2 with Grimsby Town, but I'm sure Sunderland fans would still take him back, despite his ageing legs, just for the nostalgia. Next we've got Grant Leadbitter. A local lad, Leadbitter was living his dream when he won promotion to the Premier League with Sunderland, scoring 7 goals in 44 games. He would leave in 2009, joining Ipswich as Roy Keane looked to rebuild the team that got him promotion at Sunderland, but the comeback tour didn't quite go to plan. Leadbitter will have the privilege of facing Sunderland once again next season, with Middlesbrough having just been relegated back to the Championship. In the middle was Dean Whitehead. This was Whitehead's 3rd season in red and white, winning his 2nd Championship title following relegation the previous year. He would remain on Weir's side until 2009, when Stoke decided to pay £5 million for his services, which was a lot of money for a club like Stoke 8 years ago, so why they decided to spend it on Whitehead is anyone's guess. The king of the side would pass, Whitehead would join Middlesbrough in 2013 and is now a bit part player at Huddersfield under David Wagner. Up next it's Dwight York. Having banged in goals for Aston Villa and Manchester United, Sunderland would be the Trinidad and Tobago forward's final club. But York would be deployed in centre midfield for the majority of his time in the North East. York remained with Sunderland until 2009 when he called time on his career and became assistant manager for his native Trinidad and Tobago. Since his coaching career ended, York has been seen on our telly boxes as a pundit. Out wide we have another Trinidad and Tobago international, Carlos Edwards. The winger scored the goal that sealed Sunderland's promotion back to the Premier League with an absolute screamer against Burnley, sending the Stadium of Light wild, as well as commentator Simon Crabtree, who said Edwards was 80, maybe 100 yards out on the banks of the River Wear when he hit that shot. He wasn't that far out. Edwards would be a part of Roy Keane's reunion tour at Portman Road in 2009 before joining Millwall in 2014. At the age of 38, Edwards is now a free agent. Next we've got Anthony Stokes, who scored one of his 3 Sunderland goals in the 5-0 win against Luton. Stokes was hardly a hit during his time at Sunderland, which included a ban from a local bar due to Roy Keane thinking it was distracting Stokes from training. The Irish striker would really make his name at Celtic, where he won 4 league titles and scored more than 50 league goals. After briefly returning to Hibernian, Stokes joined Blackburn where he suffered relegation to League One on the final day of the season, so if Sunderland are looking for someone to replace Jermaine Defoe, I'm sure Stokes will be more than happy to return. Or would this man be more appropriate? Finally, we've got Daryl Murphy. He was a fresh-faced 24-year-old when he scored twice against Luton to hand Sunderland the title. 10 years on, he's done it again, winning the championship title on the final day of the season, but this time it was in black and white rather than red and white. Like most of this team, Murphy would briefly link back up with Roy Keane at Ipswich before Mick McCarthy signed him permanently in 2013. The Irish striker moved to Newcastle at the start of the season, scoring 5 goals as the Magpies returned to the Premier League at the first time of asking, and if he isn't deemed good enough for the Premier League by Rafa Benitez, then Sunderland could do a lot worse than bringing Murphy back to the Stadium of Light. So that's where Sunderland's 2007 Championship winners are now. Let us know what you think in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe.